Everyone.
No.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Sick Guys podcast. I'm Harrison, and with me is
I'm Macaulay. Did I do it the right way this time? Fuck's sake, I did it wrong again. I'm Macaulay. I'm with Harrison. Hi, everyone. I always get really nervous before stuff like this, so I just thought I might as well just say it. So when people think, why is he talking like a dick? Now they know.
I don't think you talk
Confident,
like a dick.
yet not confident. Thanks, Harrison.
Thank you for everyone for watching last week. I was looking at the stats, and there was 170 unique viewers last week, which I think is bizarre considering
Decent,
that
that.
we didn't really push it.
I don't even know 170 people.
Neither do I.
Pretty cool.
So,
Yeah. That scares me a
quite
bit because
worrying.
I'm like, who are these people listening?
What I will do at some point is I'll see if I can see the global reach. See if we've
That'd
got
be pretty
anyone
cool.
anywhere. But, yeah. So same format as last
Someone in
week. I think we're going
Kazakhstan.
to open it up with a bit of rating. But I think should we play VT?
Let's play VT. Let's go to VT.
Let's play VT. So we're going to rate Arctic Monkey songs, but let's watch a bit of classic Arctic Monkeys.
Hello, everybody. So who's that girl I want to walk that long tonight. She had to roam the streets. She don't do major credit cards. I doubt she does receipts. That's all not quite legitimate.
Just going to pause it real quick. Hello.
Hello.
How sick is that? They've been like their first
That is
album came out
absolutely
the year
sick.
before. Like I think this was 2007, 2008, and he'd like only had one
When
album.
did the album come out?
and
2006.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Ridiculous.
And like every single person is singing along. But anyway, roll VT. Just that pause as well. It's just such a
I thought he was going to do
moment.
it. You didn't even let it play. I thought he was just going to end it there. Right.
Yeah. Anyway, thanks for
roll as
watching,
well.
guys.
Not too much, Alex. Keep an eye on yourself. He's a scumbag dog, you know.
However, we are
Well,
going to.
that was pretty cool.
YouTube
Yeah.
tells us.
Yeah, it's just going to be an hour of just watching that.
I love the fact they'd hardly been a band at that point. Like they had been a band, but like
No.
for like 20.
It must be
It's
pretty
crazy.
scary that though. You've just released your first album and then you're selling out. Well, not selling out. You've got a crowd that big. You've not even been a band for that long. Pretty
It's the
fucking
response
mad.
they got. It's absolutely crazy. So anyway, anyone who watched last week will know that we rated fast food places quite controversially as well. So let's try and be even more
What did we do?
controversial
Did
this
we have
week.
joint winners for Chinese and Indian?
Was
was that top? I can't remember.
Indian.
Mm.
Can I ask me to watch that? Should we just react to us watching it back?
No, because I'll cringe like really badly. I cringe enough straight away after I say a lot of things, so it'll just be bad gear. Right. I'm just gonna throw one in here straight away. A Certain Romance, I think, is up there.
I think
I just held my breath like that for 30 seconds, just hoping you'd agree with me. I think that, yeah, I'd say that's top. I didn't want to say it's top, but I'm glad you've said it's top.
I think
'Cause I think that
definitely top
that song
three.
is elite.
I don't think it's their best song, but I think it's in the top three.
Yeah, I'd happily put it in top three.
Should we put it in three for now, and then we can move it up?
Yeah,
if we need to?
let's put it in three.
Yeah, that was my first like introduction to like loving Arctic Monkeys was actually that song. So
Great song.
I'm gonna throw one for my top one, and it might be controversial.
Ooh.
505 is my favorite
Top.
Monkey song.
I feel like it's the song. Do you know what I mean? It's like the live song.
It's when it kicks in. It's just that
Yeah.
like when I go, you know that bit at the end. I was gonna sing then and realised
Yeah.
that
You should have just done it. You should have gone for it.
So,
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. I'm not even saying words here. I'm just making noises. Yeah, let's put it at number 2.
I don't
I
like
think-
the fact we're agreeing. This is gonna go really quickly.
Yeah, this is gonna show me done in like 2 minutes. Like, I love you. I think Cornerstone is up there.
Yeah.
Cornerstone
fifth.
is incredible. I'd say top
Fifth or
5.
fourth?
Yeah,
Fifth or
fifth.
fourth?
Yeah.
Fifth.
Yeah, fifth. Don't know what that noise
I would
was.
agree.
God, we're just so in
I've
sync,
got one
Harrison.
for top 10. I've got one for like 9 or 10, which
Okay.
but it's a personal preference. But Dancing Shoes.
Okay.
You can disagree.
I'd
We can argue.
say put that 9 or 10 because that is, for a bit, that was one of my favourite Arctic Monkey songs, but I listened to it too much and then stopped liking it as much.
I would
Which is my
say
own
10.
fault. Yeah.
All right.
I mean, we've not even touched on like AM yet either, and that
No,
whole album.
It's scary. Well, it's just bangers.
Oh, God, this is actually going to be more difficult than I thought when you think about it. Because Why Do You Only Call Me When You're High? There's Are You Mine? There's
Knee
Do I Want to
Socks.
Know? Arabella. Oh, God. I think how do you say it? For the rest of that song, Fluorescent Adolescent is very good.
I'm going to subtitle this later.
I got that. It's just Fluorescent Adolescence. Is it Adolescence?
It's
I think I've
adolescent.
adapted a list. No offense to people who lists. Adolescent.
Oh, this is where I spell
I
it
think
wrong.
that's up there. Because it just reminds me of. That's where you're wrong. What
This is where I spell it wrong.
Oh, I thought that was a pun.
Where do we put it?
7.
Capitalise it, yeah. That's gonna bother me.
I think you've done pretty well with the spelling actually. I wouldn't have been able to do that. Can't
I
even
was
fucking say it.
definitely copy and pasted. It was copy and pasted. I wasn't risking it.
Right. Let me just get the list of songs. Actually, are covers included?
I'll accept covers because, like, their cover of "Just Hold On, We're Going Home" is excellent.
Incredible.
Like, that is probably one of my favourite covers of all time.
And the Tame Impala cover.
Feels Like We Only Go Backwards, and then they did "Baby I'm Yours."
Baby,
Which
I'm
is always a
yours.
good
I am a sucker for a love song.
I love
that
that.
is very good. But oh man, so I'm just going through the songs here, and the songs I've forgotten about as well.
Fucking
Marty
Brian
Bum.
Storm, man. Marty
Oh,
Bum.
Brian Storm. Brian Storm is fucking very good. Right, I think the
Brian
biggest
Storm,
issue we're going to be having here is because I think we're in agreement that they have a lot of good songs. There's a
Great
lot.
song.
There's a lot of good songs, right?
I'm gonna
Oh
make
god,
life a
this
bit
is more
easier.
difficult than I thought. At the beginning, I was like, "Yeah, we're just agreeing on everything. This is great." Then now I'm going through the list.
I would
From
actually say
Mr.
Brian
Rubble.
Storm's better than Fluorescent Adolescent.
Yeah, I'd say that.
But then the issue here now is that if you bring in songs like "Do I Want to Know,"
Crying Lightning as well.
"Why Johnny Come When
Stop
I'm
the World, I
High."
Want to Get Off of You.
Well, yeah, we've not even touched Tranquility Base and stuff because I actually really like
Oh, see,
Star Treatment.
I'm not that keen on that album, but I haven't given it a proper chance. I haven't been open to it, so it's probably why.
My
Because
ringtone
I heard
is
4 out of 5, and I wasn't sure. Excuse me, that was Mingy.
I love it. My ringtone is Star Treatment just because it sounds great as a ringtone. And the little A-level film studies version of me loves all the work they did with it, all the Kubrick and style stuff and all their videos. But I will admit it's not their strongest album, but it's acquired.
He doesn't connect with the people as much as the other albums.
I went to see him on that tour. Actually,
what was it like? What was he like on that tour?
It was good. It was great. Had an amazing night. But for example, they slowed the. Oh my god! I'm about to dance floor. Bet you look good on the dance floor. That's another one. Yeah. But they slowed that down.
That's
a load of songs. They didn't play Mardy Bum, and they embraced this whole sleazy, long-haired hotel Las Vegas vibe, and it was just
it's just not the same. Like I saw him in 2014 at Tina Park, and that was the AM kind of
peak
era, and that was the peak. And then I don't know.
The question here is, can they get back to that? Because I would argue that has been their peak, and I think I
feel like the way he's writing songs as well at the minute, I don't know if he's gonna go back. He can't write songs anymore. Like as a young 20-year-old going out on the piss, like his influences are different now. And the reason why he connected so much was because everyone who's 20, like in the 20s and teenagers, they can relate to like what they're singing about. Fucking hell, this was deep. I just like the songs. But do you know what I mean? Like the what they're writing about in the last album, it doesn't connect to as many people. I don't think. And even AM, it's not about being 20 and being pissed and going out, but it's a lot of love songs, and everyone can kind of, do you know what I mean? Everyone can feel that to some extent.
Yeah.
God,
I'd agree with that. Yeah. However, I'll say that the last Shadow Puppets album, the one that came out after AM, was excellent.
Very good.
He kind of dropped the whole teenager vibe and all that kind of stuff. So
if Arctic Monkeys kind of could strike a balance between that last album and the other ones, I think they'll. I don't know. Who am I to tell the Arctic Monkeys what they need to do? Do what you want, mate. Like, you give us some decent tune, just crack on, be happy.
So where do we go now?
The list. So I also think an underrated tune is Bigger Boys and Stolen Sweethearts. I don't know if it makes a list, but I think it's a very, very good song.
Yeah. I wouldn't say it makes the list.
No, it's a good song, but it's not one that kind of, you don't really play it live either, do they? It's not something you bounce to, it's just something you just chill and you listen to and you're like, do you know what I mean? Probably not. So, Love is a Laser Quest, great song. Suck It and See.
Would that be on there?
Sake. I think so.
Love is a Laser Quest. I would say 9.
Yeah,
8,
I'd say 9.
9.
9. One for the road.
Oh. And then you've got Don't Sit Down because I Move Your Chair.
Yeah,
Fucking
that's right.
suck
That's
it
a
and
great
see,
song because
man.
when you're out and that comes on, you want to start fucking booting stuff.
Yeah. Suck It and See You was like in my top 10 most played songs last year.
Mm.
No? Okay.
Yeah. No, so I was just thinking. That was my thinking noise. Suck it and see. Yeah.
I don't think it's
right.
actually
Yeah.
the best. But
I don't think it's one of the best, but I think it's up there. There's also a song from that album which I think is very underrated. That's Where You're Wrong. And I think that is one of the best songs of that album, but I just don't think it's just not on the list, though, is it? God, this is stressful.
We can put it on the list. I think so.
But I don't know if it's.
So Only Ones Who Know is actually one of my most played songs as well, which I think is hugely underrated. But at the same time, I don't think
it's a good song, but it is on the list. Fake Tales of San Francisco as well.
Fake Tales.
That's a great song.
I think it's a great song, but I wouldn't put it on the list. Don't think it's in the top 10.
We've not got anything from AM yet, and I do think there's going to be 2 or 3
I'm going to open AM
on here
as an album. So I'm going to open AM at
AM.
So you got
needs to be on there, I think.
Do I Want to Know? Are You Mine? One for the Road. Arabella. I Want It All. Number 1 party anthem. Mad Sounds. Fireside. Why'd You Only Come When You're High? Snap Out of It, which is so underrated.
Great song.
Knee Socks. And I Want to Be Yours. But Knee Socks, me, I love
Do I Want to Know is probably one of the most popular, but it's not one of my favourite.
I'd second that. I
don't know whether it should go on the list. I don't know if it should go on the list because of how popular it is.
Do you remember that first Christmas meal?
1 million streams or something stupid.
Well, let's have a look at which one's got the most streams. If we can do that. Maybe.
Right. I'll try and guess.
Actually, Do I Want to Know has got double the amount of streams as Are You Mine?
Which is mad.
1 billion streams.
Yeah, which is crazy. But it's not one of my favourites.
Do you remember when we went out for the meal and Do I Want to Know came on? And it was like the first meal, and I think we all started like bopping, singing, and then the whole restaurant, I want to say joined in, but I actually have a feeling it just looked.
Was this the night where we ended up in 42s, or was it the Christmas one after?
Yeah, didn't want to say that on stream. But yeah.
I'm too old for that shit. The 43s night. Yeah. The bucket, the putting the book. Yeah. No.
Bucket on the head night.
Clearly.
Yeah, that was.
Yeah. Good times.
I think Do I Want to Know goes in number 4. I'm gonna say it.
I think because of how many streams it has, and just based on the facts, yeah, it has to.
We're doing that thing again where we're going to finish it and not have a number 1 because we've been really cautious and then have to move everything up.
Too cautious, yeah. But I know 505 is number 2, but I do think a lot of people's favourite Arctic Monkeys song is that.
Yeah.
Because when Mars Kane comes out as well, everyone just fucking goes mental.
What else is it then?
So I wouldn't mind that being number 5. I think. I bet that You Look Good on the Dance Floor has to be on there.
Yeah, I'd say number 8.
Yeah.
I'd say the only reason it's not number 6.
Yeah, I'd agree with that.
I could say it could go higher, but I feel it's been overplayed that much. You could say the same about Do I Want to Know, but I think Dance Floor's been overplayed so much.
Yeah, I agree with that. Well, that's like Mardy Bum as well. That's
No, Mardy Bum.
Oh.
See, that's Mardy
That's
Bum's
also been
excellent.
very overplayed, but it is a very,
Yeah.
very good song.
I'm starting
I
to
think that's got to
regret.
go on there.
Starting to regret where Dancing Shoes is.
Yeah.
Looking at that list now, I would put Dancing Shoes. I'd swap it with Dance Floor.
Would you?
Yeah. Disagree with me, Maka. Come on, we need the views up.
I think. You bastard! I think Suck It and See needs to go in there.
Okay.
And I think Love Is a Laser Quest might need to come out. I think Better You Look Good on the Dance Floor Night needs to go at 10.
Yeah.
I think
I
Suck
would
It and
agree.
See needs to go in there somewhere.
I'd
But I
argue
don't know where
Dancing
Dancing
Shoes
Shoes
would be
goes.
higher up. Maybe
What, number
maybe
8?
we chuck. Maybe we chuck.
I wouldn't have it anymore. I wouldn't have it like top 5.
Uh,
I'd say
uh,
Fluorescent Adolescent at 7 because it also reminds me of like the In-Betweeners. I like
Yeah.
the
um,
In-Betweeners.
6 or 8 then.
So I'd
for
say Dancing Shoes at 8.
Okay. And then Mardy Bum at 6.
But what about Suck It and See? Would that replace Love Is a Lazy Quest?
No, I think this. Hold on. That.
Yeah, I'd be happy with that.
That,
Certain Romance 2, yeah.
and I'd even say that.
Brainstorm
Brainstorm as well, yeah.
we need to get in there.
Would you drop Love Is a Laser Quest for Brainstorm?
Yeah, absolutely.
What about, so where did we say,
Because we've got Why Do You Want to Call Me When You're High? There's Crying Lightning.
She Thunderstorms is one of my favourites.
She Thunderstorms. Oh, God. I would put She Thunderstorms in the list, but I'd put it at 10. But Bet You Look Good on the Dance Floor is at number 10. I think because how popular.
I'd drop Dance Floor. I would drop Dance Floor. This is our favourite anyway as
She
well.
Thunderstorms. Okay, yeah.
This is our choice, so it's like we could. I would argue dropping Dance Floor.
I'd drop Dance Floor and put She Thunderstorms in. I'd put Are You Mine there at 6
Which leaves.
because it's just a massive song.
Are you Mimina?
Are you muddy? Are you muddy?
And that leaves. I want to put Mardy Bum in 4. Or
I'd put Mardy Bum at 4.
okay, I think we have a list there.
Once there's anything else of, what about Who the Fuck's Arctic Monkeys?
Who the fuck's Arctic Monkeys? When the Sun Goes Down, man. We've not even talked about When the
Don't
Sun
sit
Goes
down
Down.
because you moved your chair.
We just played When the Sun Goes Down, and we were talking about how good it was live.
Well, I don't know what you take out.
I think you could lose. I think you could lose Dancing Shoes.
Yeah, I'd agree with that.
And I'd argue that I'd actually even put Brainstorm higher because I actually think
8.
it's
Yeah.
yeah.
Great song.
But then hold on a sec. What? So this Who the Fuck Are Arctic Monkeys? When the Sun Goes Down.
What else is there?
Meat Socks.
Secret Door's a good song, but I don't think it makes a list.
Don't Sit Down Because You Move Your Chair. Because I love that song.
Yeah, that is a massive song because that when that comes on as well, Swallow Lose Your Shit. Well, maybe not, but
Well, maybe we bring 11 and 12 into the list. All right.
Yeah.
Okay. But then at the end
Okay.
we delete 11 and 12. So we still rate it, but then at the end we still got a top
Okay,
10.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
Oh, I didn't know you could
space.
shrink it. That's clever. That's well smart.
Right. I feel we
Okay.
cheated, but I feel this is the only way we can really do it.
Yeah, it's just not possible. So don't sit down.
Crying lightning, man.
Goes in there.
Pretty visitors.
What? Oh,
Teddy
that's
Picker.
fucking great. Old Yellow Bricks. It's very good.
Have you heard their
Yeah.
Amy Winehouse cover?
No.
They do a
Don't think
cover
I have.
of.
So that's very aggressive. No.
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 No. Die. Which song was it? It was You Know I'm No Good. You get a chance to listen to it.
Is that the song or? Okay.
Well, do you want me to put it on? I can put it on.
Yeah,
might
I'm not
take,
bothered.
like-
It's up to you.
Yeah, I can get it on. I'm good at this stuff. Maybe.
I mean, you can do it for homework.
I can get it on. Let's get it on.
Okay. Okay, let's get it on.
Mac, can you stall for a second?
No. is that stalling? You're saying I can't stall. Technically stalling. Is this stalling
Alright,
still? Because I'm talking.
I've got the song. Okay, you ready?
Okay.
I don't know how
That's
loud
good.
it
I
will
think
be.
it's stalled. That was pretty good. Fucking hell, that's pretty clear.
Meet you downstairs in the bar and
Hey.
your rolled up sleeves
not bad.
and your
I
school
have heard it.
t-shirts.
It's good, isn't it?
It's very good, yeah. It's very good.
Well, it's obviously not up there, but I do like it as a cover. It's like it's good.
Just a good song. Just a good song.
Um,
Right.
on a serious
Don't
note,
sit down.
Don't sit down. Should high up? I think 9.
9, yeah.
Uh,
9.
I am gonna put.
But then do we then need 11 or 12?
No. Therefore, Maka, I think they're the list.
No. Right. I'm happy with that list because certain Romance of Cornerstone are my 2 personal favourites.
505 and 505 is my favourite. So
Yeah.
I'd say Dancing Shoes is one of my favourites, but I also understand that it's not the best of theirs.
Mm. Yeah, I think Do I Want to Know needs to be on there just because of how many fucking streams it's had. Like, ridiculous.
What was the Drake cover they did? It was Just Hold On, We're Going Home, wasn't it?
Just hold on. Yeah, just hold on. Yeah.
I wish they would have released that
Mm,
because that was amazing. I actually
very good.
preferred that to the Drake version, but that's obviously expected
Because
because
we're cool.
we're cool.
We like
You know what,
guitars.
Matt? Indie, innit?
Cool.
I'll tell you what I'll do.
I'm oh,
Hold
wait a
on.
minute.
What's this? You ready? Hold on. I'm playing it off YouTube, so this is going to look crap. For those watching on YouTube, this
That's
is
pretty
basically
good that you've done that.
Your heart, love, and emotion.
Turn it off as well.
Because you're a good girl and you know it. You
That's
act
so
so
cool.
different around me.
So cool.
Because you're a good girl and you
Just this
know it.
ridiculously cool.
I know exactly who
I
you
love
could
it.
be.
I think I fancy him
Yeah,
in a
same.
in a
No
straight
homo,
way.
but oh well.
Yeah.
Yeah. I agree. I feel like, you know, when Joe Rogan is like, Jamie, pull it up, like, but you're Joe Rogan and Jamie.
Whoa.
Whoa!
Whoa.
Whoa! Yeah. Anyway.
Would you like to see my
That was a
mug?
cool
actually?
comment. Yeah, would
Are we happy
actually,
with that as a list? Actually, are we happy with that as a list? Yeah.
I'm happy with that list. I'm confident in that list, actually.
I'm happy with that list. So
Okay, cool.
I think we look at moving on to the
Just
next subject.
lock it in. Lock it in.
So let's lock it in. I don't know how we're going to lock it. I need a sound effect or something.
Can you do like a thing where it just says locked in? Harrison, could you stall for 2 minutes?
I can stall for 2 minutes.
Really need a wee.
I tell you what.
I was gonna be big and brave and hold it in, but I probably need a piss.
Well, I'll stall for 2 minutes. I'm going to go. All right, you clear, Maka.
Thanks, Harrison. Shit.
So, hi everyone. Show everyone my mug. This is God, it's quite low res, isn't it? Don't just read the page, be the page. That's a picture of me. That's a really bad quality. I don't know why my camera is so low. Let's try and up the bandwidth. So I hope everyone's enjoying this. If you are watching, get involved on the live chat. We've got some no comments this time, but we got a few interesting ones last time. And that's it, really. Hope to get more people involved in the podcast as well. It'll most likely always be me and Maka, but let's try and get others involved and see where we go from there. The next subject's quite an interesting one, to be honest. But
that was good stalling. That was a much needed wee. That's the only it's the only thing when I drink beer. You know, you break the seal. I'm only going to have one, you know, but thanks. It sounded like good stalling. It sounded very professional, actually.
It wasn't at the start. I'm not going to lie.
Hello. Cool.
So
serious. Don't smile. Right.
This is quite interesting because this is something me and Maka have talked about, like, personally, and it's something we kind of both feel passionate about, and it's a bit different. So those who know me know I'm not the most sporty person in the world. Obviously, I'm quite technical, but Maka's quite sporty, and that's his stuff. And Maka won't mind me saying he's not crazy technical, but we both have one thing in common.
No.
That we both are trying to do the best we can in our fields, in what we do, and we're both trying to get to the best we can be. So I think this is going to be a really good conversation.
I agree, Harrison. Now, I don't really know where to start with it. And you are right, I'm not technical because... Okay.
I know where to start. Okay. So actually we used case study. So Maka recently did the 4 times 48 challenge. Maka, do you want to explain what that is?
Yeah, so basically it's just what I did was it's something that David Goggins, I don't know if you heard David Goggins, basically he's just like off his head, does all this crazy stuff, but you run 4 miles every 4 hours for 48 hours, which is horrific, but mint at the same time because you can do it, even though it sounds like you can't. Even though initially you'd go, well, I'm not going to be able to do that, but I think people underestimate their ability to do things generally. I think a lot of people's natural, and it's just normal for a human. It's how we are, it's just a defense mechanism. We look at stuff and go, well, I can't do that. And I think it's just the brain's way of just protecting us because it's just naturally built in from fucking years and years ago. Say years and years ago, like fucking loads of years ago.
I think mentality is a lot of it. It is a lot of everything. I think there's something said in your video, which was, you know, 90% of the challenges you face can be solved by just facing it mentally, and that's the stumbling block up here. You know, obviously these cases where it's not. Somebody who's just broken the leg ain't gonna run a marathon, no matter how.
Oh yeah.
But you know, up here, everything is in here. The challenges that are set are in here. You know, and I think it's important.
I think a lot of it is you've got to be brutally fucking honest with yourself. Yeah. And if you know you're not putting enough work in, like you can fool other people and be like, yeah, I'm doing this and doing that, but deep down you're gonna know. You know, and you've got to be brutally fucking honest with yourself with a lot of it, and just kind of know what you're good at, know what you're bad at, and just accept it and accept the circumstances. And all right, yeah, you do need to be positive, but then you've got to also be realistic. I think there's also positivity in accepting the circumstances that you've got and adapting to that. Does that kind of make sense? Like you've got to be positive and look forward to stuff, but then you also have to be realistic, accept everything for what it is in that moment, and figure out a plan of action. Because if you don't accept it, then you're just kidding yourself, and then it leads back to that you're not being brutally honest with yourself. You're kind of lying to yourself about it all. And that's why you're not going to get anywhere with that.
I think there's an issue with a lot of our generation, and this is going to make me sound like an old man. But I work hard. I put a lot of hours in, and I'm reaping the rewards. I don't get stuff handed to me on a plate. You know, quick backstory, blah blah blah. You know, didn't come from a a crazy rich background. You know, I was like at 2 months old. We didn't have a house. We were homeless. Like everything I've done from that point has been overcoming mental goals and like trying to get where I can, trying to get the best I can financially and. Not just financially, that's wrong. In terms of just living a good life.
Well, financially, it's not everything. Like it does open doors. Yeah. It does give you a bit of freedom, and you do need that. Like people say, yeah, money isn't everything. You need to learn to be happy with that way, but you know, it does give you a bit of freedom.
The mindset I've had has been like, I knew that nothing was ever going to get handed to me on a plate. Knew that was going to be the case. Nothing ever does. And you know, those who know me or watching know that I've had like the last 4 or 5 years of my life have been pretty amazing. I've been ridiculously like, you know, I've had some of the coolest opportunities going, and yeah, it's down to right place, right time. But none of it would happen if I wasn't staying at school every night doing, you know, lighting and video for shows. If I wasn't giving up my weekends to go and work at a theatre in Manchester when I was a kid. Do you know what I mean? It's like all of it, and that's the issue.
The working and people into the end goal.
Yeah, a lot of people our age don't. God, our age, I sound so old, and I know there's a lot of people out there who have goals and are achieving them. And I like to think, as a friendship group, I like to think we're all doing it. You know, Chris has got his art and he's smashing it, and you've got Harry smashing it at the social media company, and Alice becoming a teacher, and her goals are moving away, and Jason with the road stuff, and you know his new signs and everything like that, and Jake's out in Oz. We're all got goals and we're all smashing them, and you know, whether that's work, whether that's personal, that kind of stuff. But we've all gone out there and fought for it, and I think a lot of people our age don't fight for their goals. I think it's a big issue. I think it's handed to them on a plate.
I think it's in case of that entitlement. Like, I think it's the way they've been brought up, and you know, I think when your parents give you everything. I'm not saying it's bad. Like, I think a lot of it is it's not meant to be doing any harm. It's because they love them, they want to protect them and stuff like that. And when everything's going right for you for say 18 years of your life, and everything's gifted to you, and you've got everything you want, just when you can click your fingers, well, I want this because I want it, so I'm going to get it, and you just get it. And then you turn 18 or you're 20 and something bad happens and you don't get into the university you want, or, you know, you don't get the job you want, and it hits you hard because all your life, and it's like you can be forgiven for assuming that because it's happened all your life and it's the way you've been brought up, but you get to a certain thing and something bad happens and then you think, fuck's sake, and it hits you hard, and you don't know how to kind of take kind of rejection or failure, and you take it personally. And I think that also stems into the mental health thing, because people don't know how to react to it. And I think if you're brought up in a way where, like me and you, I think we've been brought up pretty similar, where if you want something, you're gonna have to get it, and like I think kids naturally are, they want. But it's kind of stemmed in like even though it might seem harsh at the time, it's building like values, and I don't know where I'm going with this. I was going with a tangent, I always forget. But it's building in like things where you can't just be given stuff. Like the world isn't fair, it just isn't. But you've got to go out and get after it. No one's going to owe you anything. You aren't that important. As harsh as it sounds, no one's that important that someone's just going to go, oh, you're sound, here you go. Like, it doesn't work like that. You're going to have to go out and you're going to have to fucking get after it. Whatever you want, do it, and just fucking graft until you've got it.
My mum brought me up with the idea that we're just a number. But at the end of the day, we're all just like passport number, national insurance, whatever. We're just a statistic at the end of the day.
Yeah.
And if somebody 100 miles away from me doesn't do well, it ain't gonna affect me. Life
Exactly.
shit. No one's asked. People are asked about people, but at the end of the day, the only person that's ever gonna fight for you is you, and obviously your family and stuff. But mentally, is you. And I totally agree with. I think there's a massive rise in mental health issues in our age group, and especially amongst males as well. And I think there's many contributing factors to that, and a lot of it can be down to social media and stuff like that. But I do think there is a proportion of it that is people not being able to handle the fact this world is shit. And that's not saying the world being shit is a right thing, because I don't think the world being shit is a right thing. I think there's lots of injustice.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, it is shit. It is shit, and you've got to be brought up to deal with it. Like, I was brought up to be pretty hardened to this crap.
Yeah. You have to be.
And I'm not saying this the right way. I'm not saying we've been brought up the right ways. I'm not. I'm not saying that, and that's not saying others haven't. But I like to think, looking at me now at my age, I'm able to do the things that I want to do. I'm able to go on holiday when I want to go on holiday. I treat my mum the best I can. I get to see the world. I get to live the job I wanted to do when I was 9. And a lot of that, there's been rejection across the years. There's been a lot of rejection, but growing up and learning to handle it and setting those goals means you can start to achieve them. Now, a lot of it is right place, right time, but you set those goals.
You have to work to be able to be in that right place at that right time. Like, I always say, like, I'm lucky. I'm a lucky motherfucker. But I also think a lot of that stems down to the everything else I'm doing. And I do believe when you put in work, you do different things, you do get a bit more luck, because you're actively going out and getting after it. And I get what you're saying about, like, we've not been brought up the right way, and I agree with that. Do you know what I mean? But I think we've been learnt the tools or gifted the tools of how to deal with things, and I think that's it. So because there will be failures and shit will hit the fan, but that happens to everyone. That's inevitable. But it's how we react from that, and you can take it like I'm blessed and cursed in a way where if I can't do something or I fail at something, I fucking take it very fucking personally. And or if someone says something, oh, you can't do that, and I'll go, all right, okay, I'll show you. And then I'll go and do it, just to go back and go, who can't do it now? It's good and it's bad, because it can take, so it's that balance. But again, it comes back to being brutally honest with yourself. And I am very, very aware of when my ego is taking over. My ego is good because it drives me. It really does, and I can get things, and I know anything I put my mind to it, and I can do, and I really fucking believe that. But then it's also that balance of, am I just doing it just to prove people wrong? Are people trying to rile me up? Do you know what I mean? And that's just by being brutally honest and being aware of my tendencies. And that's just taken like years of, when I've gone too far the other way, I've done that. You've got to be very, very self-aware, I think, when you are like setting goals or getting after stuff.
failure is really important. I think a lot of
Yeah.
people treat failure wrong because I don't see. Obviously, at the time of failing at something, it's not a positive experience. That doesn't necessarily mean in the long run failing isn't a positive experience. The worst moments in my life I've converted into positives, into momentum. So, and I think a lot of people go the other way. And I think it's really important to achieve anything in life. You have to learn how to deal with bad moments. Now,
Yeah.
there's a point when your bad moments will be unbearable and it will affect what you're doing, and you can't turn it positive, and that's fair enough. But there is a large amount of bad moments that you can turn positive. You know, I'm yet to experience a bad moment that I haven't been able to use to my own advantage.
Yeah, I agree. I think in the moment, things hurt, like they fucking hurt, and you shouldn't run away from how you feel at the time. Like, accept it and feel. Like, you have to feel, because if you just bottle it up and get rid of it and put it to the side and you think you don't really deal with it, it's only later on where it'll come out. Like, you have to feel. Like, it's good to feel these different emotions. You have to take, like, the kind of, it's a wave and it's up and down, and you have to take, because you're always not going to be happy all the time. But if you was always happy, you wouldn't know. Well, if you wasn't sad at any point, you wouldn't know if you was happy. So it's that balance of figuring
You've
stuff
got
out.
to channel that energy. Just channeling that energy, man. I'll get personal.
Yeah,
This is all the problem. I don't have a dramatic sound effect. I should cue up
Well,
some
you should
sound
do.
effects.
I can do one.
Come on, do one.
Shibidibidibidoo. So do you have to do that?
That's dramatic enough. Like, hold on, do I need a light? Do a light in the face, or is that too bright?
Oh,
No,
oh god.
that's the actual opposite effect I'm going for. Hold on, I want to go dramatic. Let's see if I can turn myself black and white.
Oh god, that is dramatic.
No,
Wow.
that's the wrong kind of.
Jesus Christ, that was actually scary.
Hold on, color correction. Can I take all the color out? Nope.
Oh, that's true. Oh.
Do you know what?
No.
Screw it. We're just going to carry on without the dramatic.
I think you should change the tone in voice for how dramatic it is. Just go really deep, like with your voice.
So, when when my granddad passed away, right? Do you find that funny, Macca?
No, because you can't just throw that straight in there after making a joke. It's like, I was just smiling, and then he was like, so my granddad died. Okay, sorry. Go.
I pretty much grew up with him, had a bedroom there. It was pretty much lived there, very close. And when he died, I was 16, and I think I cared for him for 6 months, and it was all a bit upsetting. But in my head, I turned around and went, well, I could cry, and I could get upset, and I could go quiet and all that, or I could do exactly what my granddad would want me to do, which would be to go forward and be as positive as possible. And therefore, I was like, let's do the opposite of being a recluse. Let's actually go out there. Let's can go and do Frank Sinatra and karaoke in his memory. Let's go and get all my stuff that would make him proud, all the work stuff and everything like that. You know, treat my mum well, because that is what would make him proud. And using that energy and turning it into positiveness.
No, I agree. I think you should, you need to take it as a positive, but you do also need to feel. You need to feel it and deal with the emotions and don't write it off. But then you also need to, once you've done that, then use it like you have and turn it into a positive experience. Because everyone goes through shit, man. Obviously some more extreme than others, but everyone does go through something inevitably at one point in life. There will be something, and it's how you react to it. You know, you can either, if you haven't been gifted the tools of from the way you've been brought up, then it is something that you can learn, albeit a bit more difficult. But you can learn to change and how your mind works, and you can train your own brain. But again, that's being incredibly self-aware of what you're doing, being aware of your tendencies, being aware of how you react to stuff, and then understanding when you're right and wrong. Do you know what I mean? Like, and that's just going back to being brutally honest. And only then can you adapt to a situation and change. Because I know when I'm slipping, I know when I'm going a certain direction, and then I become aware of it and go, well, fucking hell, I can see it. But that's because I'm very, very honest with myself. And, you know, with him being a dick, then it's like, well, fucking hell, you've been a bit of a knobhead here. Like, even though in the moment, I'd be like, oh, I'm right and I'm fucking great and you're all wrong and you're all knobheads. And then the next day I'll look back and think about it and go, oh, fucking hell, you was wrong. And then, do you know what I mean? Like, it's just, you've just got to be like, brutally honest with you. And that's the only way you can change and adapt, I think. Anyway, because you've just got to be honest with yourself. You can't lie to yourself. You're always gonna, you know, you can lie to other people. You can't lie to yourself.
It's worth saying this isn't me and you saying that we've got it right, because
No, yeah. I'll make mistakes. I'll make mistakes fucking tomorrow all the time. Like, I am nowhere near fucking perfect, and I think everyone who knows me knows I'm not. But
I'm
I feel
fairly
like,
close. But
yeah, like I'm not perfect, but I'm pretty close. But I feel like, I mean, no one's ever going to be perfect, but I feel like we're on the right tracks. Like, I don't know where I'm going to go, man. I don't know where the fuck I'm going to end up, but I know I'm going to do fucking well. And I don't know what the journey is going to be on the way, but I'll fucking get there. Do you know what I mean? And I know, like, I'm very lucky that I've got parents where, like, if I am straying off a bit, they'll go, you're being a knobhead. And I'll go, I might not like it at the time, and I'll go, you're a knobhead, because it's just how you react normally. And then I'll sit back and go, yeah, all right, yeah, I'm being a knobhead. And then I'll come back on that path. So I know I'm very, very lucky to be, you know, to have parents I've got and have the friends I've got, because when I do stray off, I'm pulled back in. Others might not have that. But then again, it's learning to adapt to your situation, being incredibly self-aware of knowing when you are and pulling yourself out. Now I'm a bit better now that, like, when I know I'm going off that bit, I pull myself back now because I'm aware of it. I think when it's drilled into you for so many years, when you are being a knobhead, you kind of understand when it's happening. So yeah, I don't know what the actual point of that was.
So I started to stray a tiny bit at work, it's about 4 years ago. And there is like, is it like feedback then? I don't know if you heard that. It was weird. Unless it was my computer.
It might be. Is it? I don't know. Is it now? Is it now? Is it working now?
Okay, cool. Fine. Sorry. It's been fine all along. It's just weird. I was straying off at work a tiny bit, and I kind of, when I came back off the F1 stuff, I kind of mentally just had a bit of a lapse in interest and kind of became complacent for a couple of months. And one of the NDs, Mark, pulled me into a meeting and was there like, you know, you're not doing a bad job of anything, but you're not doing a great job. And it was there like, that moment there, I was there like, oh shit, he's right. And being able to like take that and learn from it and like, you know.
You could have gone the complete opposite way and been a dick about it and gone like, well, blah, 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 and then gone, but the way that you've reacted to it, is actually.
Well, I came in the next day. I literally told me at the end of the workday, he was just like, you can have a chat. He's there like, and Mark, to be fair, doesn't actually know what I do on a day-to-day basis. He's not like technical. He's like more finance, but he was there like, it just seems like you're not as kind of passionate as you were. And I was there like, shit, he's kind of got a point. I was there like, so I went home that night, and it's the geekiest, it goes sound like school, but I literally wrote an action plan of what I wanted to do and how I was going to do it, and gave it to him the next day, and was there. It was like 2 pages long of like thingy, because you know when just something sticks with you in your head, you know. And I was there like, oh shit, right, let's see how I can turn this into like, you know, get myself better. And lo and behold, the trajectory I've had at work has been, you know, it's going. It's not flat. It's going up. But it's like how you interpret that and
how you reacted to that situation. Like the way you've taken it, and you've gone, well, all right, I'm gonna change and adapt and improve on it. And that's by being self-aware, by you accepting that circumstance and being like, actually, I'm all right. Yeah, fair enough, I am. And I always say, like, if someone says something and you're offended, it's usually it's usually the truth. Like, it is, you know. And if it's not the truth, don't be fucking offended. That's like, it's very black. It's very black and white. It's not as easy as that. But usually, if someone says something, if you don't like it and you're offended, like, it usually hits home because it's true. So then it's like, well, how do you? Maybe not in the moment. You don't. I'm not saying you have to react great in the moment because no one's like that. You have to, you know, I don't react in the moment. I know, like, if someone says something to me, I snap straight away. But then I know, like, the next day I'll think about it and go, actually, all right, fair enough. And it's just having that ability to, like, maybe one day it might be better where I do kind of go, in that moment I'll react perfectly. Fucking nowhere near there yet. But maybe, like, that's what you're working towards.
And I'll say this now, like, as a person, Maka, I am like, I big you up massively to anyone I talk to.
Aww.
Because I think your mindset is like, it is brilliant, and like your determination, and you know, you can inspire really well. And I think it's important. Like, if you get chance and you're friends with Macaulay on Facebook, little cheeky plug here.
Little cheeky plug for the great video editing from Harrison here.
I'll do all bar mitzvahs and weddings, whatever you want. But watch his 4x4x48 video, and specifically watch the last 2 minutes of it. And it's actually it sums up very well what we're saying here. And I think you know, it's important to realize that having a goal and working towards that goal is so important to better your life, better your job, better everything you do. Isn't that what we're all aiming for? We all want to consistently do better. If you're complacent with something, you know, what's the point? What you know?
Yeah, and without goals, where you have to, like, I think you have to have your bigger goals and your smaller goals, and it has to be like each time, like, it's not too hard where it's not possible, but each time just slightly better. And everyone says like 1% better each day, and it's right. Like, each goal, and the thing is, like, the reason why I do all this fucking mad challenges now is because I've built it from years of training. So if you look on the outside now, you go, fucking hell, how's he doing that? It's taken years of graft to get to that point. And obviously each time it's gone a little bit harder, a little bit harder, a little bit harder, a little bit harder. So that's why now the challenges are getting worse and worse, because I have to think of, like, harder stuff to do. Because otherwise it's not a challenge. If you've already done it, then what's the point?
Yeah.
So that is the importance of setting goals, because I know when I've not got a goal in mind, I won't go off the rails. I'm not a fucking nutcase, but, like, well, yeah, maybe, yeah, I won't be doing the right things and stuff like that. So I know I need goals to keep me kind of in check and running along. And that's why I'm constantly doing stuff, and I've got something to aim towards. And it's that constant, like, I don't give a fuck what anyone else is doing. As long as I'm improving what I'm doing, like, getting a bit, like, personalized training, like, if I'm getting a bit fitter, getting a bit stronger, faster, I don't care about anyone else. Obviously, I could like a bit of competition sometimes, it's good. But in reality, I don't really care about anyone else, because no one else is. I don't have the same circumstances as anyone else. So how can I, like, compare that? It's comparing myself to where I was a year ago, where I was a few months ago. Okay, have I improved? If not, well, again, leading back to that, let's be brutally honest. Let's set some goals. Let's reset and let's graft after it again. And that's
your biggest competition is you. Simple as.
100% agree. 100% agree.
Yeah, and that's it. I have people at work who have a similar job role as me, and there's no competition between me and them, because we're all individuals. I've got my goals, they've got their goals. I know what my future is, they know what their future is, and therefore, like I said, the only person I'm ever battling, and I say battling, that's the wrong word, because I don't. I like to think I work.
I get it.
But the only person I'm ever.
You do get doubts in your mind, even though you are confident. Like, your brain like, you'll be doing something, you'll feel great, and then, like, a little snippet of your brain will say something, and you'll go, "You little bastard," and it can eat at you. And, like, it does. It's happened to me before where I've done something, it comes in, and then there's been a couple of days where I'm like, fucking hell, like I'm pretty confident, but then there'll be times where I'm like, it'll just thing in, and that's when you've got to fight back, because that's what can eat you up. And I do think, like, people might think me and you are cocky, but our confidence comes from the work that we put in, and we work fucking hard, man. Like, we graft, and that's where the confidence comes from. And people think it's cocky. It's not. Like, put in the graft, and you'll feel the same way. You get security from hard work.
On that note, I don't know if you've seen my status this morning. So today's 10 years since I did my work experience at the company I work at now. And I had to fight to get that work experience. That wasn't just handed to me. That work experience was being spotted for doing lighting for a show for school, and it all came from that. And then, you're pushing to do more work experience for that company, and blah, blah, blah. Lo and behold, 10 years later, I'm still with the same company. And everything has been, so for example, when I was at college, the company I worked for were across the way from college. Every single study period, even if it was 50 minutes, I'd walk over, do 30 minutes of work, walk back, go to lesson. And that was it. It was giving up weekends. It was working for years.
But people don't see that. People don't see that.
No. So like, you go on my Facebook profile, the first photo you see is me and Lewis Hamilton, name drop.
World champion. But people just see that and go, how's he done that? How's he got there? You've not seen the fucking years of graft. How long was you at the company before you got the opportunity? How many years of extra fucking stuff you didn't need to do?
6 years.
It's years of work that's got 6 years off graft to get you to that place. It's not luck. You've worked to put yourself in that position, but people don't see that. And I think it's a very British thing where why are you doing that? How have you got that? Why? And then it's like, I don't know what the word is for it. I don't know if it's like entitlement or.
Yeah, it's like it's the fear of it's the fear of, like,
I think it's their own insecurities, and they put it on other people, and then they go, well, they're doing that, and I don't know.
How often
I'm trying to think of the word. I train like 6 days a week, and I've consistently trained like that for years.
And you've got train at home as well.
Yeah. So I didn't hear that. Sorry, what about home?
And obviously, when you're not at the gym, you're training at home. And if you're not doing, and your diet and your lifestyle choices are all based around the want to achieve and be the best you can.
Exactly.
And
everything's working towards that, but people just see, like, oh, he's got a six pack. How's he done that?
He must just punch a punch bag every now and again. Do you know what I mean? Is there it's not
like it must be genetics, or that's the one thing that pisses me off. Oh, he's just genetically gifted. Mate, I went out for my first ever run when I can't even remember, 15, 16. I got half a mile down the road and threw up. That's not genetically gifted. Like, this is through fucking hard work. But people don't see that. They just go, oh, you can do some press ups. Fuck off, mate. Like, it's not natural. Like, it's the graft, man. And, like, that's the way you see it. Everyone's equal. All right, yeah, somebody might be a bit taller or whatever, but everyone's equal mentally, whatever. It's just all depends on the work you put in, on your choices you make. And obviously, you're not going to make the right choice all the time. But
first job I ever went on, like when I was like doing operating, was at the corporate gig at the Greenwich Maritime, and it was down in London. It was my first gig where I was there, like, doing something that was like not just sat there kind of doing stuff. And I think I was 17, 18. I think I was 17 or 18 at the time, as well as at college. And I think it was 27 hours into a working day. That includes like traveling down to London, no sleep, and I fell asleep. I got sent back to the hotel, and they went, "Come back in about 2 hours to do loadout." I slept through the loadout and like completely missed everything. And they were all fine with it and all expecting it, and they were like first gig, they were expecting it. But since that moment now, it's their like
Yeah.
never want to do that again. So I set about 10
Yeah.
alarms on one. I can mentally keep going. So if I get on the momentum, I can go for 2 days just working. When I crash, I crash. Don't get me wrong, but like
Yeah, of course, yeah.
it's taking that moment of, I want to say, embarrassment and that kind of, oh fucking hell, my first job, and I've slept through. And
It's that fear of thinking I don't want that to fucking happen again.
Yeah, and looking back now, if I took
space.
a work experience kid on site or an 18-year-old or whatever, and they fell asleep after 26 hours, I'd be like, fine.
Yeah, fair dues, mate. Yeah.
Like, I get it, but and I can see everyone else.
But you have to react like that to the situation, man. You have to do that in order to improve. Because you're in your head, you're thinking, I don't want that to fucking happen again, man. And then that's where you're like, you kind of self-expectation. I think holding yourself accountable and having high expectations of yourself is also important. Of expecting a bit more from yourself, not just settling, you know. So.
Anyway, Macca, I think we should.
Anyway, Harrison.
Probably look at wrapping up.
I agree. I agree, because I could talk. I think we could talk about this
hours
and hours and hours.
Do you know, I took your mum to my office last week.
Yeah, she said she's like, oh yeah, I'm gonna drop these stuff of Harris. I was like, all right, cool. And then she came back, she went, oh, I've seen Harrison's office. And she was like, bet you haven't. I was like, actually, Mum, I have. And she's like, oh, well, don't care.
I was proper
she said it was sick.
It's like showing them like a bit of sense of pride of what I do, kind of thing.
Yeah. Do you know what's mad as well? Because for a long time, no one really knew what you did. We just knew you was sick at it and just was always grafting. And it's only like the last couple of years where we've kind of gone like, right, like no one even knew you had a degree until like, like pretty recently. Like you just whip out and be like, oh, this is like 3 years since I graduated. And we went, you went to university? Like no one knew. Like you're just mad.
One more thing, I was at uni, I worked as well. I was pretty much every day I wasn't at uni working, so I'd go to uni for 2 days a week, 1 day a week, and then work every other day. You've got to do that, or else, you ain't going to get where you need to get to. Macca, you look like you're frozen. Macca? Oh, you appear to have frozen. And you appear to have gone.
I think I'm frozen.
Oh, you're back. You're back.
Are you there? Okay, yeah.
Anyway,
I hear everything you said. Like, I agree. Like, but again, it's one of them where people don't see that. People don't see the amount of work you put in. Like, and I think that's the trouble with like the social media age and stuff like that. They just see the end products, but they're not seeing like the failures, the fucking graft, everything else that's got into it. Like, I'm not saying like I've done, like, me in my head, I think personally I've done fuck all. I've not got anywhere. I've not done anything. So I'm not really in a position to tell people, but I know I'm on the right path. Do you know what I mean? But I have to have that mindset to know. I have to have that mindset in my head, because otherwise I'll just stick with what I've done previously and oh, well, I'm happy with it, and then won't go and do anything else. So in my head, that's why I'm always like, well, I've not really done anything. Do you know what I mean? Like, I don't know if that makes sense. Yeah.
Okay, you mean. Anyway, dude, I'm going to
let's wrap up.
Let's wrap up.
I've got a nice little Easter Sunday tea waiting for me. Was it?
Anyway, thank you for the chat. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah. Bye, everyone.
Bye, everyone. Thank you for watching.